Perhaps you find yourself facing challenges, feeling that life is a constant struggle. Or maybe you've experienced some successes, but still feel that there's something more, something greater waiting to be realized. Wherever you are, I say unto you, you are exactly where you need to be to grasp this life-altering principle. But what does it mean to say this in your head for a while? It is not a matter of mere repetition or mindless chanting. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in perception that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your inner dialogue, the words you say to yourself in the privacy of your own mind, are not just fleeting thoughts, but living, creative forces that shape your reality. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. And your inner world is shaped, moment by moment, by the words you say to yourself in your head. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and persistently holding certain thoughts in your mind, you are actively creating a reality where these thoughts manifest. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach life. No longer are you a victim of circumstance, hoping for good things to happen. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you say certain things in your head, as you hold certain thoughts and feelings, the universe must rearrange itself to match these inner states. But how, you may ask, does one harness this power of inner speech? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination, combined with the living force of your inner words. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your inner dialogue is not mere mental chatter. Together they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and declare internally and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true and whatever you consistently declare to be true in your inner speech. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality. So when you say certain things in your head, when you hold certain thoughts and feelings consistently, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of saying things in your head and waiting for what happens. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your inner dialogue and feelings. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner conversations and assumptions. Consider the biblical phrase, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This is not a mere poetic expression. It is a statement of cosmic law. Your inner thoughts and feelings, especially those you consequently hold about yourself and your life, have the power to create or destroy, to manifest or to dissolve. When you align your inner dialogue with the highest vision of yourself and your life, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension and indeed bring these visions into reality. But let me be clear, saying things in your head is not about empty repetitions or false positivity. It is about a fundamental shift in your inner dialogue, in how you perceive and declare yourself to be in the privacy of your own mind. When you truly embody this practice, your inner speech naturally aligns with your desired state of being. You begin to think of yourself with reverence and love. You declare your worthiness, your abundance, your health, your success, not as distant possibilities, but as present realities in your inner world. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person whose inner dialogue is constantly negative. In their head, they might be saying things like, "I'm always unlucky, I'll never succeed, I'm not good enough." These inner conversations, repeated day after day, shape their subconscious beliefs and consequently their reality. They are in essence programming themselves for failure and limitation, creating a life that reflects these negative inner declarations. Now imagine this same person shifting their approach. Instead of negative self-talk, they begin to say positive, empowering things in their head. They might say, I am blessed with endless opportunities. I am worthy of success and abundance. I am more than enough. They say these things consistently in their mind, with feeling, with conviction, knowing that they are shaping their reality with each inner declaration. They live each day from this new inner dialogue, carrying themselves with the certainty of someone who truly believes these empowering thoughts. In this state, their entire experience of life begins to shift. They start to notice opportunities they might have missed before. They approach challenges with confidence rather than fear. They interact with others from a place of worthiness rather than insecurity. And in doing so, they begin to create a reality that matches these new, empowering inner conversations. They allow a life of abundance, success, and fulfillment to flow into their experience, drawn by the power of their inner words and the feeling behind them. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you're dealing with health, relationships, career, or any other area, the key is to first say the right things in your head about that area. Declare your wholeness, your lovability, your success in the privacy of your own mind. For what you consistently say to yourself sets the tone for your entire life experience. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this denial of reality? And to this, I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current circumstances. It is about understanding the true nature of reality and the creative power of your inner dialogue and consciousness. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past inner conversations and beliefs about yourself. They have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power by continuing to think and feel their reality. When you shift your inner dialogue, when you begin to say new, empowering things in your head, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which reality you wish to experience. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness expressed through your inner dialogue and feelings that gives life to your experiences. When you say negative things to yourself in your head, you are breathing life into a reality where these negative statements are true. But when you consciously choose to say empowering, positive things in your head, you cause your outer world to rearrange itself to match these new inner conversations. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to changing your life through what you say in your head. It is about aligning your inner dialogue with the highest vision of yourself and your life. Recognizing that this desired reality is seeking expression through you and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your inner declarations and feelings. But let me warn you, this shift in your inner dialogue is not always an easy path. The old habits of negative self-talk, of saying discouraging things to yourself in your head, are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of thinking, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in. Old thought patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to saying the empowering things in your head. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to think, but by persistently thinking what you do want. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining a positive inner dialogue in the face of contrary evidence, is what allows you to truly change your life. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. So you simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away negative thoughts. So you simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of what you desire, to align your inner dialogue with the highest vision of yourself and your life. This tuning is done through your conscious choice of inner speech and your ability to feel the reality of these words. Your inner declarations are the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your inner dialogue to declare empowering truths about yourself and your life, as you feel the reality of these declarations, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. Saying empowering things in your head is a way of life. It's a constant choice to maintain this inner dialogue, regardless of appearances. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to change your life by thinking positively once. This is about persistently maintaining an empowering inner dialogue, about living from this consciousness day in and day out, until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that your perception of yourself and your life begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appear as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to success. You begin to see yourself as the empowered being you truly are, knowing that your inner dialogue is constantly shaping your reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I maintain a positive inner dialogue when I face real challenges? How can I say empowering things in my head when my current reality seems to contradict these thoughts? And to this I say, your inner speech infused with feeling and imagination is more powerful than any circumstance. Consider for a moment, have you ever been deeply moved by a story, whether in a book or a movie? In those moments, were you not feeling real emotions based on imaginary events? Your feelings were real, even though the events were not happening in your physical reality. This is the power you must harness when you say things in your head. You must use your imagination to infuse your inner speech with feeling. As you say empowering things in your head, imagine how you would feel if these things were already true in your life. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of fulfillment that would come with these realities. Feel these states as vividly and as consistently as you can as you engage in your inner dialogue. The key is to make your inner speech as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. As you say things about abundance in your head, feel the sense of security and freedom that comes with abundance. As you declare perfect health in your mind, feel the vitality and energy coursing through your body. As you speak of success internally, see yourself in your mind's eye achieving your goals. Hear the congratulations of others. Feel the sense of accomplishment. Make it real in your mind and heart as you say these things in your head. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to say things in your head about specific outcomes. The goal is to say things that align with your essential self, your true identity. For it is this alignment with your true self that is the real attractor of your experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of just saying, I am wealthy in your head, align your inner speech with the essence of abundance. Say to yourself, I am one with the source of all abundance. Prosperity flows to me and through me effortlessly. I am worthy of unlimited abundance. Instead of merely thinking I am healthy, align your inner dialogue with the essence of well-being by saying to yourself, I am one with the source of all life. Perfect health is my natural state. My body is a temple of vitality and well-being. By aligning your inner speech with your essential self rather than just external conditions, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of saying things in your head and waiting for what happens. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your inner log with the truth of your mind nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about saying things in your head that resonate with the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and worthy, or you find yourself naturally making healthier choices, or opportunities for abundance seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner shift brought about by your empowering inner dialogue is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your inner speech is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to say empowering things in your head. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting more positive experiences. You may notice that your relationships improve, that your health flourishes, that abundance flows more freely into your life. And as you continue to maintain this empowering inner dialogue, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding good. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which blessings naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends, when you're truly saying empowering things in your head. When you're fully embodying this state, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your worth or success. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are a divine, limitless being. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life filled with manifest blessings. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to change our lives? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you're consistently saying empowering things in your head, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between trying to make things happen and allowing them to happen. When you're trying to force changes in your life, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you're maintaining an empowering inner dialogue, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your desires. Consider the example of a flower. A flower doesn't strain to bloom. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate beauty. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align your inner dialogue with your true divine nature, you allow your life to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite good that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your inner speech, a deliberate and consistent practice of saying empowering things in your head. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your thoughts and consciousness. This faith is not about believing that good things will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that you are whole and complete now, in this very moment, and that your inner dialogue is constantly shaping your reality to reflect this empowered state. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in saying empowering things in your head, you'll begin to see evidence of these empowering thoughts manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, an unexpected opportunity, a fortunate coincidence, a sudden insight that changes your perspective. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world, shaped by your empowering inner dialogue, is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the empowered life you are creating through your thoughts. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on their inner dialogue and saying empowering things in their head might somehow make them self-centered or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of maintaining an empowering inner dialogue, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your inner speech, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your empowering thoughts, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expand the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of inner empowerment, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a channel through which blessings flow, not just to you, but through you to the world. Your inner dialogue creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter. This is the true gift of saying empowering things in your head and waiting for what happens. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless good. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of consistently maintaining and empowering inner dialogue, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from a state of empowered thinking. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the magic. You are the miracle. You are the one to whom you are speaking these empowering words in your head. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, say this in your head for a while, wait for what happens, is not just a technique for creating better circumstances. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine creative being. It's about aligning your inner dialogue with the fundamental truth of being and allowing your grandest expression of life to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling against external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the creator of your reality, the author of your own life story. In this state, there's no need to beg or plead for good things to come into your life, for you understand that you are the source of all good. Your job is simply to maintain an empowering inner dialogue, to live from this consciousness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of their manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to infuse your inner speech with feeling. Feel the naturalness of being the empowered being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this inner dialogue, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your thoughts. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external circumstances. You are the operant power in your world. Your inner dialogue, infused with feeling, is the one and only reality. All things are possible to him who believes and declares internally, for belief and inner declaration shape reality. In your journey of saying empowering things in your head and waiting for what happens, let this knowing be your guiding light, leading you unerringly to the realization of your highest potential. Go forth from here with this knowledge Apply it in your life. Test it. Prove it to yourself. For in doing so, you'll discover the truth of who you really are. You'll tap into the limitless power that has always been within you. And you'll experience the joy, the freedom, the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with the laws of creation. Start now. Say empowering things in your head. Let these thoughts permeate every aspect of your being. For in truth, you are already that empowered being. You are already living in a reality of infinite good. All you need to do is open your heart. Embrace this truth in your inner dialogue and allow it to express itself more fully in your experience. Imagine, if you will, that your imagination is not just a fleeting fancy, but the very workshop of God. Yes, you heard me correctly. Your imagination, that inner world of thoughts and images, is the creative power of the universe itself, individualized in you. This is not hyperbole, my friends, but the fundamental truth of existence. In the next hour, you have the power to completely revolutionize your life. How, you may ask? By understanding and applying the law of assumption. This law states that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner assumptions. What you believe to be true, what you accept as real in your imagination, must and will manifest in your physical reality. Now let us delve deeper into this concept. Your conscious mind may rebel against this idea, citing past experiences, current circumstances, or logical arguments as to why this cannot be true. But I tell you with absolute certainty that your subconscious mind knows no limits. It does not argue, it does not question, it simply accepts and manifests. Think of your desire, that which you wish to experience in your life. It matters not whether it is wealth, love, health, or success. Whatever it may be, know this: it already exists in the infinite realm of possibility. Your task in this crucial hour is to bring it into your experience through the power of assumption. But how does one assume? It is simpler than you might think. Yet it requires a shift in consciousness that many find challenging at first. To assume a state, you must think from it, not of it. Let me explain the distinction, for it is vital to your success. When you think of a desire, you acknowledge its absence in your life. You see it as something separate from you, something to be attained. But when you think from a desire fulfilled, you embody the state of its realization. You live, move, and have your being as if it were already a fact in your world. Consider a man who desires financial abundance. If he thinks of wealth, he may say to himself, I want to be rich. I need more money. In doing so, he affirms his current state of lack. But if he thinks that, he embodies the consciousness of a wealthy individual. He feels the satisfaction, the security, the freedom that wealth brings. He does not wish for it. He knows it as his current reality. This, my dear friends, is the crux of the matter. In the next hour, I challenge you to assume the state of your desire fulfilled. Feel it, live it, breathe it, as if it were already yours. For in truth it is in the realm of imagination, which is the very substance of reality. Now some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? And to this I say, your physical senses show you only a shadow of reality. The true substance of things is not in their physical form, but in the consciousness that gives rise to them. Remember the words of Scripture. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your assumption, is the very substance of your desire. It is the evidence that precedes physical manifestation. In this next hour, I urge you to tune into the silence of your own being. Close your eyes to the world of shadows and open your inner eye to the reality of your imagination. See yourself as you wish to be. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of your desire realized. Do not concern yourself with the how or the when. These belong to the realm of manifestation, which follows the law unfailingly. Your part is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end as if it were already accomplished. Let me share with you a technique that you can use in this transformative hour. It is called the pruning shears of revision. Just as a gardener prunes a tree to promote healthy growth, you can revise your day, your week, or even your entire life to align with your desired reality. Here's how it works. Before you sleep tonight, review the events of your day. But instead of accepting them as they appear to your physical senses, revise them in your imagination to match your desire. If you had an unpleasant interaction, reimagine it as harmonious. If you faced a financial setback, see it as an unexpected windfall. This is not denial or escapism. It is the highest form of creativity, for you are literally rewriting the script of your life. Remember, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. As you engage in this practice, you may find that doubts arise. Your rational mind may interject with reasons why your desire cannot be fulfilled. Do not fight these thoughts, for what you resist persists. Instead, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let the peace and satisfaction of that state wash over you, dissolving all doubts and fears. In this 1 hour, you have the power to set in motion forces that will reshape your entire existence. But understand this, the law of assumption is not a one-time event. It is a way of life, a continuous state of being. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it as planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check its progress. You water it, you provide the right conditions, and you trust in the natural process of growth. Similarly, once you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, you must nurture it with consistent assumption and unwavering faith. Now let me address a common misconception. Some believe that this teaching encourages passivity, that by simply imagining, one need not take action in the physical world. Nothing could be further from the truth. Action will follow naturally from your changed consciousness, but it will be inspired action led by an inner knowing rather than the frantic doing that stems from a sense of lack or fear. As you assume the state your wish fulfilled, you will find that opportunities present themselves, doors open that were previously closed, and synchronicities occur that seem almost miraculous. This is the law in action, rearranging the circumstances of your life to match your inner assumption. But remember, the outer world may not change instantly. There is often a time lag between your inner assumption and its outer manifestation. This is what I call the interval of time. During this period, you must hold fast to your assumption, regardless of appearances. This is where many falter. They assume the state of their desire, but when they do not see immediate results, they revert to their old patterns of thinking. But I tell you, the law is infallible. What you persist in assuming must manifest. It is not a question of if, but when. In this transformative hour, I urge you to be bold in your imagining. Do not limit yourself based on what seems probable or possible, according to your current circumstances. Remember, you are not bound by your past or by the opinions of others. You are bound only by your own assumptions. Dare to assume greatness for yourself. Dare to imagine a life so wonderful, so fulfilling, that it takes your breath away. For you are not a mere mortal struggling in a world of chance and circumstance. You are a divine being endowed with the creative power of the universe itself. As we near the end of this crucial hour, I want you to understand the profound responsibility that comes with this knowledge. For if your imagination creates reality, then you are the author of your life story. Every experience, every relationship, every circumstance in your world is a reflection of your inner assumptions. This may seem a heavy burden at first, but in truth it is the key to your liberation. For if you have created your current reality through your assumptions, then you have the power to create anew. You are not a victim of circumstances, but the master of your fate. In the remaining minutes of this hour, I invite you to make a decision. Will you continue to live at the mercy of your habitual thinking, accepting whatever life seems to hand you? Or will you take up the mantle of your divine creativity and consciously shape your world through the power of assumption? The choice is yours and the time is now. Do not postpone your good, waiting for some future moment when conditions seem more favorable. The only moment of creation is the eternal now. In this very instant, you can assume a new state of consciousness that will transform your entire existence. As we conclude this transformative hour, I want to leave you with a final thought. The practice I have shared with you today is not a mere technique or a clever psychological trick. It is the very essence of creation, the modus operandi of the universe itself. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative power that brings worlds into being. You are claiming your birthright as a co-creator with the divine. This is not arrogance or hubris. It is the recognition of your true nature. So go forth from this hour with a new understanding of your own power. Let every thought, every feeling, every inner conversation be a conscious act of creation. Assume the best for yourself and for others. For as you lift yourself to higher levels of consciousness, you lift the entire world with you. Remember, the law is absolute. What you assume, you become. There are no limitations to what you can be, do, or have, except those you accept in your own imagination. So dream big, assume boldly, and watch as the universe moves to fulfill your desires. In closing, I remind you once again, this will work for you. Not in some distant future, not after years of struggle and effort, but right now, in this very hour. The power is within you, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it now. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but contribute to the transformation of the entire world. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine brightly, illuminating the path for all who seek a better way. Go now and create the life you desire. Assume the best, expect miracles, and live on the state of your wish fulfilled. The world is waiting for you to realize your divine potential. This is your moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. For in this 1 hour, you have been given the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies within you. Use it well, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. Remember, this is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. Each day, each hour, each moment is an opportunity to realign your consciousness with your desires. Be vigilant in your mental diet, feeding your mind with thoughts and images that support your assumptions. As you go about your day, carry with you the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let it infuse every action, every interaction. Speak, think, and act from the state of one who already has what they desire. This self-pretense or deception, it is the highest form of truth. For you are claiming the reality that already exists in the realm of infinite possibility. In the face of contrary evidence, stand firm in your assumption. The outer world may not yield immediately to your new state of consciousness, but yield it must, for it has no choice. It is the shadow, and you are the light that casts it. Change the light, and the shadow must change accordingly. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Rome was not built in a day, and neither is a new self-concept. There may be moments of doubt, moments when the old patterns of thinking try to reassert themselves. When this happens, gently but firmly return to your assumption. Remember, what you persist in assuming persists in manifesting. As you continue this practice, you will find that your entire perception of reality begins to shift. What once seemed impossible becomes probable, and what was probable becomes certain. You will start to see opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. You will attract people and circumstances that align with your new state of being. This is the law of attraction in action. But understand that you are not attracting things to you from the outside. Rather, you are awakening to the reality that already exists within you. The outer world is merely conforming to your inner assumptions. In this light, consider every experience in your life as a gift, a reflection of your consciousness to be embraced and, if necessary, revised. Even seeming setbacks or challenges are opportunities for growth and realignment. They are showing you where your assumptions may still need adjustment. As you master this practice, you will find that your creative power extends beyond your personal life. You have the ability to assume the best for others as well. See your loved ones as they wish to be seen. Assume the best for your community, your nation, your world. For as you lift your own consciousness, you contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. Remember, you are not separate from the world around you. You are an integral part of it, a unique expression of the divine creative power. As you assume states of greater harmony, abundance, and love for yourself, you make these states more accessible to all. In this 1 hour, you have been given a tool of immense power. Use it responsibly, use it lovingly, and use it consistently. The results may not always be immediate, but they are inevitable, for you are working with the very substance of creation itself. As we come to the close of this transformative hour, I urge you to take a moment to reflect on what you have learned. Feel the enormity of the power that resides within you. Embrace the responsibility that comes with this knowledge. And most importantly, put it into practice immediately. Do not wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. The perfect moment is now, and the ideal circumstance is your current awareness of your creative power. Begin now to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel the reality of it. Live from that state, and watch as your world transforms around you. Remember, this practice is not about forcing or manipulating external reality. It is about aligning your consciousness with the truth of your being. As you do so, you will find that life begins to flow with greater ease and grace. Synchronicities will abound, and what once seemed like obstacles reveal themselves as stepping stones to your desired reality. In the days and weeks to come, be vigilant in your practice. Guard your mind against negative assumptions and limiting beliefs. Cultivate a mental atmosphere of expectancy and wonder. Look for evidence of your assumption manifesting in your world, and give thanks for it, even before it appears in physical form. For gratitude is a powerful amplifier of your creative energy. When you give thanks for your desire as if it were already fulfilled, you align yourself even more powerfully with its manifestation. Gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity, opening you to the good that is already yours. As you go forth from this hour, know that you carry within you the power to reshape your entire existence. You are not a helpless victim of circumstance, but a divine creator, molding the substance of the universe with your assumptions and beliefs. Use this power wisely. Use it to create a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, not only for yourself, but for all those whose lives you touch. For as you elevate your own consciousness, you elevate the consciousness of the entire world. In closing, I remind you once again, this will work for you. It is working for you right now, in this very moment. Your assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled is already in motion, already reshaping the circumstances of your life to match your inner vision. Trust in this process. Have faith in your own divine nature, and above all, persist in your assumption. For what you persist in assuming must inevitably manifest in your world. Go now and create the life you desire. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. For in this 1 hour, you have been given the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies within you. Use it well and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. This is your moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. For you are the author of your life story, the creator of your reality. Write a story of greatness, of love, of abundance. Assume the best for yourself and for all of humanity. And as you do, know that you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing the infinite. This is the promise and the potential of this one transformative hour. The seeds have been planted. Nurture them with your unwavering assumption. Water them with your faith, and watch as they blossom into the magnificent reality of your choosing. The power is yours. The time is now. Go forth and create miracles.
Imagine yourself seated in a grand auditorium, the air thick with anticipation. The lights dim, and a spotlight illuminates the stage. I, Neville Goddard, step forward to address you on a matter of utmost importance. The willingness to give up your present limitations. As I gaze upon your eager faces, I see the infinite potential that resides within each of you. Yet I also perceive the invisible chains of limitation that bind you to your current circumstances. These chains, my dear listeners, are not forged by any external force, but by the very thoughts and beliefs you hold within your minds. Tonight, we shall embark on a journey of transformation. We will explore the vast landscape of your imagination and unlock the power that lies dormant within you. For it is only when you are willing to give up your present limitations that you can truly step into the life you desire and deserve. Let us begin by understanding the nature of your limitations. These are not physical barriers or insurmountable obstacles. No, they are merely thoughts, ideas that you have accepted as truth. But I say to you, with unwavering certainty, that these limitations are as flimsy as a house of cards, ready to collapse at the slightest breath of your newfound awareness. Consider for a moment the things you believe to be impossible in your life. Perhaps you think you cannot achieve great wealth, or find true love, or attain perfect health. These beliefs, my friends, are the very limitations that keep you tethered to a life that is less than what you are capable of living. But I ask you, who decided these things were impossible? Who declared that you must live within these confines? The answer, though it may be difficult to accept, is you. You have accepted these limitations as your reality, and in doing so, you have given them power over your life. Now, I can hear the protests rising within you. But Neville, you might say, these limitations are based on my past experiences, on the hard facts of my life. To this, I respond with a truth that may shake the very foundations of your understanding. Your past does not determine your future unless you allow it to do so. You see, my dear listeners, time is not a linear progression from past to future. It is a vast sea of possibilities, and you are the navigator of your ship. At any moment, you have the power to change course, to set sail for new horizons that you previously believed were beyond your reach. This power lies in your imagination, the most magnificent gift bestowed upon humanity. Your imagination is the workshop wherein you can fashion any reality you desire. It is the canvas upon which you can paint the masterpiece of your life. And it is through the conscious use of your imagination that you can begin to dissolve the limitations that have held you captive. Let me share with you a fundamental principle that underpins all of Kriyans. Consciousness is the only reality. Everything you perceive in your outer world is but a reflection of your inner states of consciousness. The circumstances of your life, the successes and failures you experience, are all projections of your beliefs and assumptions. Therefore, to change your life, you must be willing to change your consciousness. You must be prepared to give up the limiting beliefs that have shaped your current reality. This, my friends, is where true courage is required, for it is far easier to cling to the familiar, even if it is unsatisfactory, than to venture into the unknown realms of possibility. But I implore you, summon the courage to challenge your limitations. Dare to imagine a life beyond the boundaries you have accepted. For in that daring lies the seed of your transformation. Consider the great figures of history who achieved the seemingly impossible. The Wright brothers, who dared to believe man could fly. Edison, who illuminated the world with his persistence. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who dreamed of equality in the face of overwhelming opposition. These individuals did not accept the limitations of their time. They dared to imagine a different reality. And through the power of their imagination, they brought that reality into being. You, my dear listeners, possess the same power. The only difference between you and these great figures is that they refused to accept the limitations imposed upon them by society or their own doubts. They were willing to give up their present limitations. And in doing so, they changed the course of history. Now, you might be wondering, how do I begin this process of giving up my limitations? The answer lies in a practice I have long advocated, the art of revision. This powerful technique allows you to rewrite your past and consequently reshape your future. Imagine for a moment that your life is a play, and you are both the lead actor and the playwright. The scenes you have lived up to this point have been scripted by your past beliefs and assumptions. But now, armed with the knowledge of your true creative power, you can rewrite these scenes. Each night, as you lay your head upon your pillow, take a few moments to review the events of your day. But do not simply replay them as they occurred. Instead, revise them. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desires. If you encountered failure, reimagine it as success. If you experienced lack, visualize abundance. If you felt fear, replace it with courage. This practice of revision is not mere fantasy or escapism. It is a powerful tool for reprogramming your subconscious mind. For your subconscious does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. By consistently revising your day, you are laying down new tracks in your subconscious, creating new patterns of thought and belief. As you persist in this practice, you will find that your outer world begins to conform to your revised inner world. The limitations you once accepted as immutable facts will begin to dissolve, replaced by new possibilities and opportunities. But revision is just the beginning. To truly give up your present limitations, you must be willing to live from the end. This means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when your senses deny its reality. Suppose you desire financial abundance, but your current circumstances show only lack and struggle. The conventional approach would be to work harder, to strive and strain against your circumstances. But I say to you, this approach only reinforces your limitations. Instead, I urge you to assume the feeling of wealth and abundance now. How would you feel if you were already in possession of the financial security you desire? What thoughts would occupy your mind? How would you carry yourself? What decisions would you make? Live from this state of consciousness. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of freedom that comes with financial abundance. Do this not once or twice, but consistently, persistently, until it becomes your dominant state of being. You see, my friends, the outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. This is law. Therefore, by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are setting in motion the forces that will bring your desire into physical manifestation. Now, I can hear the skeptics among you raising objections. But Neville, you might say, how can I feel wealthy when my bank account is empty? How can I feel healthy when my body is racked with pain? How can I feel loved when I'm alone? Your senses show you only the effects, never the cause. What you see in your outer world is the result of past thoughts and beliefs. But the power to change lies in the present moment, in your ability to choose a new state of consciousness regardless of external circumstances. This requires faith. Not blind faith in an external power, but faith in the creative power of your own imagination. It requires the courage to deny the evidence of your senses and to live as though your desire were already a fact. Remember, the Bible tells us faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your unwavering belief in the reality of your imagined state is the very substance that will clothe your desire in physical form. Let me share with you a personal experience that illustrates this principle. Many years ago, I found myself in New York City, penniless and without prospects. The limitations of my circumstances seemed overwhelming, but I refused to accept them as final. Instead, I began to imagine myself as a successful lecturer, sharing these very principles with eager audiences. I felt the satisfaction of standing on stage, hearing the applause, sensing the impact of my words. I lived in this imaginal state consistently, denying the evidence of my senses that told me I was a failure. And do you know what happened? Within a short time, opportunities began to present themselves. I was invited to give lectures, first to small groups, then to larger audiences. My reputation grew, and soon I found myself traveling the country, sharing these truths with thousands. This transformation did not occur because I struggled against my circumstances or because I was particularly gifted. It happened because I was willing to give up my present limitations. I dared to imagine a different reality and to live from that imagination. You, my dear listeners, can do the same. Whatever limitations you currently face, be they financial, physical, emotional, or spiritual, you have the power to transcend them. But you must be willing to give them up. You must be courageous enough to imagine and feel a new reality, even when every outer circumstance seems to contradict it. Now, let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this transformative process. To give up your present limitations, you must first become aware of them. This awareness is not about dwelling on your problems or reinforcing your current state. Rather, it's about recognizing the thoughts and beliefs that have created your present circumstances. Take a moment now to reflect on the areas of your life where you feel limited. Perhaps you believe you're not intelligent enough to pursue higher education. Maybe you think you're too old to start a new career. Or perhaps you've convinced yourself that you're not attractive enough to find a loving partner. These beliefs, my friends, are not facts. They are assumptions you have accepted as truth. But just as you have accepted them, you have the power to reject them and replace them with new, empowering beliefs. The process begins with a simple yet profound shift in your thinking. Instead of saying, I can't, start saying, I am. Instead of focusing on what you lack, direct your attention to what you desire to be, do, or have. For instance, if you've been telling yourself, I can't afford that, replace it with, I'm abundantly prosperous. If you've been thinking, I'm not smart enough, change it to, I'm intelligent and capable. If you've believed, I'm too old, affirm instead, I am the perfect age to begin anew. These new statements may feel false at first. Your rational mind, conditioned by years of limiting beliefs, may rebel against them. But remember, you are not trying to convince your rational mind. You are speaking directly to your subconscious, which accepts as true whatever you impress upon it with feeling and persistence. This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. As you make these new statements, create vivid mental images that support them. See yourself living the life these statements imply. Feel the emotions associated with this new state of being. If you're affirming abundance, see yourself easily paying your bills, generously donating to causes you care about, enjoying luxurious vacations. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of security that comes with financial freedom. If you're claiming intelligence and capability, Imagine yourself confidently tackling challenging tasks, receiving accolades for your work, sharing your knowledge with others. Feel the satisfaction, the pride, the excitement of fully expressing your intellectual potential. If you're asserting that you're the perfect age for new beginnings, visualize yourself embarking on exciting new ventures, learning new skills with ease, inspiring others with your enthusiasm and vitality. Feel the energy, the optimism, the sense of unlimited possibility that comes with this mindset. The key here is to make these mental images as vivid and as emotionally charged as possible. Your subconscious mind responds to the language of feeling and imagery. The more real you can make these imaginal scenes, the more quickly they will be accepted by your subconscious and reflected in your outer world. I must caution you, this process requires persistence. You cannot expect to overturn years of limiting beliefs with a single affirmation or visualization. Just as a farmer must tend his crops daily, you must nurture your new beliefs consistently. Make it a daily practice to affirm your new state of being. Spend time each day in quiet contemplation, immersing yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Do this upon waking and before sleeping, when your subconscious mind is most receptive. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Opportunities that align with your new state of consciousness will start to appear. You'll find yourself making decisions and taking actions that support your desired reality. When faced with these new opportunities, they retreat into their old patterns of thought and behavior. They allow their present limitations to resurface, sabotaging their progress. This is why I emphasize the need to be willing to give up your present limitations. It's not enough to imagine a new reality. You must be prepared to step into it when it begins to manifest. If you've been affirming financial abundance and suddenly an opportunity for increased income presents itself, you must be willing to embrace it, even if it challenges your comfort zone. If you've been claiming intelligence and capability and find yourself offered a chance to demonstrate these qualities, you must be ready to rise to the occasion, even if it feels daunting. Remember, your outer world is always reflecting your inner state. If you maintain your new state of consciousness, your outer world must conform to it. This is law. But if you allow yourself to be pulled back into old patterns of thought and behavior, you will perpetuate your present limitations. This is where faith becomes crucial. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your imagination creates reality, that your assumptions shape your world, that consciousness is the only reality. When doubt creeps in, as it inevitably will, remind yourself of this truth. Recall times in your life when your imagination has created your reality, even if in small ways. Perhaps you strongly imagined receiving a call from a friend and they called. Maybe you visualized finding the perfect parking spot in a crowded lot, and there it was. These seemingly small manifestations operate on the same principle as the greater changes you now seek to create. Moreover, look to the great achievements of humanity for inspiration. Every invention, every scientific breakthrough, every social change began as an idea, an imaginal act that defied the limitations of its time. The airplane, the telephone, the computer, all of these were once deemed impossible. Yet individuals dared to imagine them, to assume their reality, and in doing so brought them into being. You, my dear listeners, are no different from these visionaries. You possess the same creative power. The only difference lies in your willingness to use it, to dare to imagine beyond your present limitations. Now, let us address a common obstacle that many face on this journey of transformation: the opinions and influences of others. As you begin to give up your present limitations, you may encounter resistance from those around you. Friends, family, colleagues may attempt to pull you back into your old patterns of thought and behavior. This is natural. People become accustomed to seeing you in a certain way, and your transformation may challenge their own limiting beliefs. But remember that opinions are based on your past expression, not on your infinite potential. You must be willing to stand firm in your new consciousness, even in the face of opposition or disbelief from others. This doesn't mean you need to argue or try to convince anyone of your new reality. In fact, it's often best to keep your inner work private, at least in the beginning stages. Instead, maintain your new state internally, regardless of external circumstances or opinions. Continue to live from the end, feeling and acting as though your desire is already fulfilled. As you do this, you will find that the outer world, including the people in it, will gradually adjust to your new vibration. Remember the words attributed to Mahatma Gandhi. Be the change you wish to see in the world. As you change your inner world, your outer world must follow suit. Now, let's explore another vital aspect of giving up your present limitations. The release of attachment to specific outcomes. This may seem counterintuitive at first. After all, aren't we focusing on manifesting specific desires? The key here is to understand the difference between the essence of your desire and its particular form. When you tap into the essence of what you truly want, be it love, abundance, health, or success, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its manifestation. For instance, if you desire financial abundance, don't become fixated on winning the lottery or receiving a specific sum of money from a particular source. Instead, focus on the feeling of abundance, the sense of security and freedom that comes with financial well-being. By doing so, you allow the universe to bring your desire to you in ways that may far exceed your limited imagination. Similarly, if you desire a loving relationship, don't become attached to a specific person or a particular scenario. Focus instead on the feeling of being loved, cherished, and in a fulfilling partnership. This opens the door for love to enter your life in perhaps unexpected but perfectly aligned ways. This release of attachment also helps to dissolve the anxiety and desperation that often accompany strong desires. When you trust in the perfect unfolding of your imagination, when you know that what you have assumed as true must manifest, you can relax into the present moment, enjoying the journey of transformation. As you practice living from the end, assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you may notice an interesting phenomenon. Your desires themselves begin to evolve. As you give up your present limitations, you may find that what once seemed like an ultimate goal now appears as just a stepping stone to even greater possibilities. This is the nature of spiritual and personal growth. As you expand your consciousness, as you release the shackles of limitation, you open yourself to ever greater expressions of your infinite potential. Therefore, be willing to let your desires evolve. Don't cling to old goals out of habit or fear. As you give up your present limitations, allow yourself to dream bigger, to imagine grander possibilities for your life and for the world. Now, my dear friends, as we approach the final stretch of our discourse, I want to address a question that may be arising in your minds. What if I fail? What if I try to give up my limitations and nothing changes? Failure is impossible if you truly understand and apply these principles. What may appear as failure is often just a temporary misalignment between your inner and outer worlds. It's a signal to examine your consciousness more closely, to root out any lingering doubts or contradictory beliefs. If you find that your outer world is not changing as rapidly as you'd like, don't despair. Instead, use this as an opportunity to deepen your practice. Ask yourself, am I truly living from the end? Am I maintaining the feeling of my wish fulfilled consistently? Am I allowing contradictory thoughts and feelings to persist? Often what seems like failure is simply a call to greater faithfulness to your imaginal act. It's an invitation to strengthen your resolve, to deepen your understanding, to persist in the face of apparent opposition. Remember, the outer world may take time to reflect your inner changes. Just as a ship doesn't turn on a dime, your life circumstances may not transform overnight. But if you maintain your new state of consciousness, if you persist in living from the end, your outer world must eventually conform to your inner reality. Moreover, what appears as a setback or failure often contains within it the seeds of an even greater manifestation. Many of history's great successes came on the heels of apparent failures. The key is to maintain your faith, to hold fast to your new state of consciousness, regardless of outer appearances. As we near the conclusion of our time together, I want to leave you with a powerful exercise to help you give up your present limitations. This exercise, which I call the ladder of ascension, will help you systematically release your limiting beliefs and ascend to higher states of consciousness. Imagine before you a grand, golden ladder reaching up into the heavens. Each rung of this ladder represents a state of consciousness, a level of being. The lower rungs represent states of limitation, lack, and fear. The higher rungs represent states of abundance, love, and unlimited possibility. Now see yourself standing on the rung that represents your current state of consciousness. Look up the ladder and choose a higher state that you wish to embody. This could be a state of financial abundance, radiant health, loving relationships, or any other desired state of being. Close your eyes and imagine yourself climbing the ladder, moving towards this higher state. As you ascend, feel yourself shedding your limitations. With each step, feel yourself becoming lighter, freer, more aligned with your true unlimited nature. When you reach the rung that represents your desired state, pause there. Look around you from this new vantage point. How does the world appear from here? How do you feel in this new state of being? Allow yourself to fully experience the reality of this higher consciousness. Now open your eyes, but maintain the feeling of this elevated state. As you go about your day, continually remind yourself that you are operating from this higher level of consciousness. Make decisions, interact with others, and perceive the world from this new state of being. Practice this exercise daily, always choosing a higher rung, always expanding your consciousness. As you do, you will find your present limitations falling away, replaced by an ever-expanding sense of possibility and power. My dear friends, as we come to the close of our discussion, I want to impress upon you one final truth. The journey of giving up your present limitations is not just about personal gain or individual success. It is about stepping into your true identity as a creative force in the universe. As you release your limitations, as you expand your consciousness, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your transformation inspires and uplifts those around you. Your expanded consciousness contributes to the elevation of all consciousness. Remember, we are all one. Your liberation from limitation serves not just you, but all of humanity. As you give up your present limitations, you help to dissolve the collective limitations that bind our world. Therefore, I urge us, be bold in your imagining. Be courageous in your assumption of new states of being. Be persistent in your faithfulness to your imaginal acts. For in doing so, you're not just changing your own life. You are participating in the transformation of the world. Go forth from this place with a new resolve. Know that you are not bound by any limitation unless you choose to accept it. Know that within you lies the power to create any reality you can imagine. Know that you are, in truth, unlimited being, temporarily expressing itself in human form. Dare to give up your present limitations. Dare to imagine a life beyond what you have previously thought possible. Dare to assume the feeling of your wishes fulfilled. As you do, you will find that the entire universe conspires to bring your imagined reality into being. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. You are that consciousness. You are the creator of your world. Embrace this truth, live from it, and watch as your life transforms in ways more wonderful than you could have ever imagined. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention and your willingness to embark on this journey of transformation. May you go forth and create lives of unparalleled joy, abundance, and fulfillment. The power is yours. Use it wisely. Use it lovingly, and use it now.
Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the threshold of a new life. A life so vibrant, so filled with purpose and joy that it seems almost unreal. Yet here you are, poised to step into this magnificent reality. This very moment, as you listen to these words, is the pivot point upon which your entire existence is about to turn. You may ask, how can this be? How can a simple video, a collection of words and images, herald such a profound transformation in my life? The answer, my dear listeners, lies not in the video itself, but in the power that resides within you, a power so vast, so limitless, that it can reshape the very fabric of your reality. Consider this. Every great change, every monumental shift in the course of human history began with a single thought. A thought that took root in the fertile soil of imagination, nurtured by the unwavering belief of its thinker. This video, this message, is that seed of thought for you. It has found you at precisely the right moment, when you are ready to embrace the extraordinary potential that has always existed within you. Let us delve deeper into this concept. The world you see around you, the circumstances of your life, the very essence of your being, all of these are but reflections of your inner state. They are the manifestations of your deepest beliefs and assumptions about yourself in the world. And just as a mirror faithfully reflects whatever stands before it, your outer world reflects the state of your inner world. Now imagine for a moment that you could change that inner world, that you could, through the power of your imagination and the strength of your belief, reshape your inner landscape. What would happen then? Inevitably, inexorably, your outer world would begin to shift, to realign itself with this new inner reality. This, my friends, is the great secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. The sages and mystics of every culture have spoken of it, often in veiled terms. But today, we shall speak plainly, for the time for obscurity has passed. You are creators, each and every one of you. Creators not just of art or music or literature, but of your very lives, of the world you inhabit. But how, you may ask, can we harness this creative power? How can we shape our inner world with such precision and potency that our outer world has no choice but to conform? The answer lies in a practice so simple, yet so profound, that its true power is often overlooked. Imagination, my dear listeners, is the workshop in which you forge your future. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine a scene, feeling it to be real, experiencing it with all your senses, you are not merely daydreaming. You are engaging in the most powerful creative act possible. For in that moment of imagining, you are stepping into a state of being. You are, in essence, becoming the person who has already achieved, already experienced, already become what you desire. And here's the crux of the matter. The outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match this new state of being. Think of it this way. If you were to wake up tomorrow morning as a person of great wealth, how would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? Now, can you see that by assuming that state, by living from that place of abundance and security, you are setting in motion the very forces that will bring that reality into your physical experience? This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is a fundamental law of consciousness, as real and immutable as the law of gravity. Just as an apple must fall when released from your hand, so must your outer world conform to your inner state of being. But let us be clear. This power comes with great responsibility. For if you can create the life of your dreams through the power of your imagination, then you must also acknowledge that the life you currently lead is of your own making. Every circumstance, every relationship, every success or failure is a reflection of your past assumptions and beliefs. This realization can be sobering, even frightening, but it is also incredibly liberating. For if you have created your current reality, then you have the power to create a new one. The past does not determine your future, your imagination does. Now, some of you may be thinking, but I tried positive thinking before. I visualized and affirmed, and nothing changed. To you, I say this, the power lies not in the technique, but in the feeling. It is not enough to merely picture what you want. You must feel it to be real here and now. You must live from the state of its fulfillment. Imagine a man who desires financial abundance. He may visualize himself with great wealth, but if he continues to feel poor, to live in a state of lack and limitation, his outer world will continue to reflect that inner poverty. But if he can assume the feeling of wealth, if he can live from that state of abundance, not in some imagined future, but right here and now, then the outer world must by law begin to reflect that inner richness. This is the art of living from the end. It is the practice of experiencing your desire as an accomplished fact, of making your future dream your present fact. When you master this art, you hold in your hands the key to unlocking every door, to achieving every goal, to becoming every version of yourself you ever dreamed of being. But let us not mistake this for some sort of magical thinking. The outer world does not change overnight. The seed planted in the soil does not become a mighty oak in a day. There is a season for all things, a natural gestation period for every desire. Your task is not to make things happen, but to maintain that inner state of fulfillment, to nurture that seed with your unwavering belief and your consistent assumption of its reality. The how and of its manifestation are not your concern. Your only responsibility is to lift your hand to be in imagination what you wish to be in reality. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in all of this. After all, surely we cannot simply sit back and wait for our desires to manifest. You are right to ask this question, for action does indeed play a crucial role, but it is not the frantic, desperate action of someone trying to make things happen. Rather, it is the inspired action that naturally flows from your new state of being. When you truly live from the state of your fulfilled desire, you will find yourself naturally drawn to take actions that align with that state. Opportunities will present themselves, ideas will come to you, and you will act upon them not out of a sense of lack or need, but from a place of calm assurance and inner knowing. This is the difference between creating and making. When you try to make things happen, you are operating from a place of absence, of not having. But when you create from the state of already being or having, your actions are imbued with a different energy altogether. They become effortless, joyful expressions of your inner state, rather than strained attempts to change your outer world. Let us take a moment to truly absorb the magnitude of what we are discussing here. We are talking about nothing less than your ability to completely reshape your life, to step into a new reality of your own choosing. This video has found you at this precise moment because you are ready for this transformation. The very fact that you are hearing these words is proof that you have called this knowledge into your life. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied, must be lived to have any real power. So I challenge you right here and now to choose a desire, something you wish to be, do, or have. Close your eyes for a moment and step into the feeling of that desire fulfilled. Experience it with all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if it were already your reality. Now open your eyes. The world around you may look the same, but I assure you it is not. For in that moment of imaginative power, you have set in motion forces beyond your current comprehension. You have planted a seed in the fertile soil of infinite possibility, and that seed must grow. Your task now is to water that seed with your continued assumption of its reality. When doubts arise, and they will, gently return to that feeling of your desire fulfilled. When the outer world seems to contradict your inner knowing, stand firm in your conviction. For the outer is but a shadow, a reflection of past beliefs. Your new assumption, held with unwavering faith, will inevitably reshape that outer world. Remember, the universe is plastic to your deepest, most consistently held beliefs. It has no choice but to mold itself to your inner convictions. This is not something you need to force or struggle with. It is the natural, effortless operation of universal law. As you begin to live from this new understanding, you will notice changes in your life. They may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new spring in your step, a sense of quiet confidence that wasn't there before. Embrace these changes, for they are the first fruits of your new way of being. Gradually, you will see larger shifts. Circumstances will align in ways you couldn't have planned. People will enter your life who resonate with your new frequency. Opportunities will present themselves that perfectly match your deepest desires. And through it all, you will know with unshakable certainty that you are the creator of it all. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of living a life of power and purpose. It is not about controlling the outer world or bending others to your will. It is about mastering your inner world, about becoming so aligned with your deepest desires that the outer world naturally conforms to your inner vision. As we continue on this journey of exploration and revelation, I want you to understand that what we are discussing here is not some new age fantasy or feel-good philosophy. This is the very mechanism by which reality operates. It is the underlying principle that governs the unfolding of all existence. Think for a moment about the world around you. Every man-made object you see, the buildings, the vehicles, the devices in your hands, began as a thought, an imaginal act. Someone somewhere held in their mind a vision of these things before they came into physical being. Your ability to create is no different. The only distinction is in the medium. Instead of steel and concrete, you are molding the very substance of reality itself. Now, I can sense that some of you may be feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of this power. You may be thinking, if I am responsible for creating my reality, then why have I created circumstances I don't desire? This is a natural and important question to ask. The answer lies in understanding the nature of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It simply accepts as true whatever you consistently impress upon it, whether through your habitual thoughts, your emotional states, or your deeply held beliefs. Many of us have spent years, even decades, impressing upon our subconscious mind's limitations, fears, and doubts. Is it any wonder, then, that our lives reflect these impressions? But here's the liberating truth. Just as you have impressed these limiting beliefs upon your subconscious, you can impress new, empowering beliefs. You can overwrite the old programming with a new vision of yourself and your life. This is the very essence of the transformation we are discussing. The technique is simple, but its consistent application requires dedication and persistence. Each night as you drift off to sleep, enter into a state akin to sleep but still conscious. In this drowsy, receptive state, imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment that would accompany the realization of your dream. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing this new reality upon your subconscious mind. You are planting the seed of your new life in the fertile soil of infinite possibility. Do this night after night, and you will begin to see changes in your outer world. Your subconscious mind, operating below the level of your conscious awareness, will begin to reshape your reality to match this new impression. But remember, this is not a one-time event. Just as you wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check its progress, you must have faith in the unseen processes that are at work. Your only task is to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, to live each day from the state of already being what you desire to be. Now let's address another question that may be arising in your minds. What about other people? Don't they have their own free will? How can my imagination influence them? This is a profound question, and it strikes at the heart of our understanding of reality. The truth is, what you perceive as other people are in your world playing the parts that you have assigned to them. This doesn't mean they don't have free will in their own realities, but in your experience, they will conform to your assumptions about them. If you consistently assume that people are kind and helpful, You will find your world filled with kind and helpful people. If you assume the opposite, that is what you will experience. This understanding places a great responsibility on your shoulders. For if everyone in your world is playing a part based on your assumptions, then it is up to you to cast them in the roles you wish them to play. See the best in others, assume the best of them, and they will rise to meet your expectations. But what of global events, you may ask? How can my imagination influence the larger world? Again, we must return to the fundamental truth. Your experience of the world is a reflection of your inner state. As you change your inner world, your perception and experience of the outer world will change. This doesn't mean you should ignore the challenges facing our world, but it does mean that the most powerful way to create positive change is to embody that change within yourself. Be the peace you wish to see in the world. Live from a state of abundance, and you will see abundance reflected back to you. As more and more individuals awaken to this truth and begin living from empowered states of being, we will see a collective shift in our shared reality. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling at this point. You may be excited by these ideas, inspired by the possibilities they present, but you may also be feeling a sense of doubt. Can it really be this simple? You may be asking. If this is true, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer, my friends, is that while the principle is indeed simple, its application requires a fundamental shift in how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It requires us to let go of many deeply ingrained beliefs and habits of thought. It asks us to take complete responsibility for our lives, to step into our power as creators. This can be a daunting prospect. Many people, when confronted with this truth, shrink back from it. They find comfort in the familiar, even if the familiar is not what they truly desire. But you, my dear listeners, are different. The very fact that this video has found you, that you are hearing these words, is proof that you are ready for this transformation. You are ready to step into your power as a conscious creator. You are ready to take control of your inner world, and by doing so, reshape your outer reality. This is why your life is about to change. This is why you find yourself at this pivotal moment, poised on the brink of a new way of being. But let me be clear, this is not about gaining power over others or manipulating the world to serve your ego. This is about aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, about becoming a channel through which the infinite expresses itself. It's about living a life of purpose, of joy, of fulfillment, not just for yourself, but as an inspiration and a blessing to all those around you. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, commit yourself fully to this practice. Choose one desire, one change you wish to see in your life. Each night as you fall asleep, imagine it as vividly as you can. Feel it as real. Leave each day from the state of its fulfillment. Do this consistently, persistently, and with unwavering faith. Don't worry about the how or the when. Your only task is to live from the end, to be in imagination what you wish to be in reality. The universe will take care of the rest. At the end of those 30 days, reflect on your experience. Notice the changes, both subtle and profound, that have occurred in your life. Pay attention to the shifts in your perception, in your emotional state, in the way you interact with the world around you. This, my friends, is just the beginning. As you master this practice, as you become more and more aligned with your true creative power, you will find yourself capable of transforming not just your individual circumstances, but of contributing to the transformation of our collective reality. Remember, the world is waiting for you to awaken to your true power. It is longing for you to step into the fullness of who you truly are. For as you liberate yourself, as you begin to live from a place of joy, abundance, and love, you liberate those around you. You become a living example of what is possible, a beacon of hope and inspiration in a world that so desperately needs it. So go forth, my dear friends, with this newfound knowledge. Let it sink deep into your being. Let it inform every thought, every action, every moment of your day. Know that as you do so, you are setting in motion forces that will reshape your entire existence. Your life is about to change, not because of external circumstances, but because you are awakening to the immense power that has always resided within you. This video, these words have found you at precisely the right moment when you are ready to embrace this truth and step into your role as the conscious creator of your reality. As you move forward from this moment, carry with you the understanding that your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. Use it wisely, use it consistently, and use it with love. Remember that what you imagine and feel to be real must, by universal law, become your reality. This is not wishful thinking, but the very mechanism by which all of creation operates. In the coming days and weeks, you will begin to notice changes in your life. They may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new opportunity presenting itself, a fortuitous encounter. Embrace these changes, for they are the first fruits of your new way of being. They are confirmation that you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. But do not stop there. As you see these initial changes manifesting in your life, let them fuel your faith and strengthen your resolve. Continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. For remember, the outer is but a shadow of your past beliefs. Your new assumptions, held with unwavering faith, will inevitably reshape that outer world. Finally, my dear friends, know that this journey you are embarking upon is not just for your own benefit. As you transform your own life, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. You demonstrate what is possible when one awakens to their true nature as a creative force in the universe. And in doing so, you contribute to the elevation of all humanity. So go forth with courage, with faith, and with the unshakable knowledge that the life of your dreams is not just possible, it is inevitable. For you are the operant power, the author of your destiny, the creator of your reality. Your life is about to change because you have chosen to change it. Embrace this power and watch in awe as the world transforms before your eyes.